Your teeth have functioned perfectly for years.
That's odd.
Then sometime between the ages of 17 and 25, or sometimes even after 30, a new tooth begins to emerge. The third molar, better known as a wisdom tooth. Yet about 20% to 25% of people are born without any wisdom tooth buds at all. So why is that? First, wisdom teeth aren't actually special teeth. They are simply your third set of molars. Most people can potentially develop 4. 2 in the upper jaw and 2 in the lower jaw. But unlike your other molars, they arrive very late. Your mouth may seem completely finished by then. Every visible space appears occupied. Then one morning, something feels strange at the very back. You touch the area with your tongue. The gum feels swollen. Maybe there is a tiny hard corner underneath. A few days later, chewing on that side becomes uncomfortable. Congratulations! Your late guest has arrived. And unfortunately, nobody saved it a seat. This is the biggest problem with wisdom teeth. The tooth itself may be perfectly normal, but there may not be enough space for it. When there is enough room, nothing dramatic happens. The tooth simply grows upward. It settles beside the second molar. And it works like another grinding tooth. You might barely notice it. But when space is limited, things become more interesting. The tooth still tries to emerge. Yet another molar may already be blocking the way. So the wisdom tooth can tilt forward. It can lean backward. Or it can remain almost horizontal beneath the gum. Sometimes only a small part breaks through. Sometimes nothing appears at all. The entire tooth remains hidden beneath the surface. This is known as an impacted wisdom tooth. And yes, it can sit there for years. You may not even know it exists. Until a dental X-ray reveals the surprise.
Rotates around character A's head to capture the full anatomy. The panoramic dental X.
There it is. A complete tooth lying sideways inside your jaw. It looks like it forgot which direction teeth are supposed to grow. But orientation isn't the only problem. A partially erupted wisdom tooth can be difficult to clean. It sits in the deepest corner of your mouth. Your toothbrush has to reach behind every other tooth. Food can become trapped around the gum. Bacteria can accumulate there. The tissue may become irritated. Your gum can swell. Chewing can hurt. Even opening your mouth may become uncomfortable. Suddenly, one tiny tooth controls your entire lunch. But this creates an obvious question. If wisdom teeth cause so much trouble, why do we have them? For that answer, imagine eating dinner thousands of years ago. There is no blender on the counter. No food processor. No soft sandwich bread. And definitely no delivery pizza. Food required considerably more physical processing. Many plants were fibrous. Seeds and nuts could be tough. Meat required tearing and chewing.
The powerful
Teeth were
molars
doing
crush
serious
and
work
grind
every
the
day.
fibrous food, demonstrating efficient mastication of minimally processed substances.
The large molars at the back were especially useful. Their broad surfaces crushed and ground food. Third molars added even more grinding surface. So wisdom teeth weren't originally some pointless bonus feature. They belonged to a useful chewing system. Our ancestors also wore their teeth down much more heavily. Imagine using the same natural grinders for decades. Hard particles could gradually wear away their surfaces. Extra molars at the back weren't necessarily bad equipment. They could be useful. But humans became extremely good at changing food. Before eating it, we learned to cook. Heat made many foods softer. We cut food with tools. We crushed ingredients. We ground grains. We boiled tough foods. Eventually, much of the difficult work moved outside the mouth. Think about your own kitchen. A knife cuts your meat. A grinder processes your food. A stove softens it. And sometimes a machine practically chews it for you. By the time food reaches your teeth, much of the work is already done. And over our evolutionary history, human faces and jaws changed too. Modern humans generally have relatively smaller and more retracted faces than many earlier ancestors. But we still commonly develop the same basic number of molars. 3 on each side of each jaw. The third one simply arrives last. And being last can be unfortunate. It gets whatever space remains. Sometimes that is enough. Sometimes it isn't. There is also another interesting part of the story. Your jaw isn't shaped by genes alone. It grows while you are using it. Chewing places forces on developing bones and muscles. A tougher diet generally demands more chewing. A softer diet demands less. These developmental differences can influence jaw growth. So modern wisdom tooth problems don't have one single cause. Evolutionary changes matter. Genetics matters. Childhood development matters. And the size of your individual teeth matters. That's why two people can have completely different experiences. Your friend may have 4 wisdom teeth. All 4 may grow perfectly straight. They may never cause a single problem. Meanwhile, yours may behave very differently. One might grow normally. Another might remain buried. A third might emerge halfway. And the fourth could point toward its neighbor. Same type of tooth. Very different result. But some people get an even easier outcome. Their wisdom teeth never appear. Not at 17. Not at 25. Not at 30. Not ever. Sometimes that's because the teeth remain impacted. But sometimes the teeth simply don't exist. Before a wisdom tooth can grow, its developing structure must first form inside the jaw. In some people, that never happens. No wisdom tooth bud develops, which means there is no hidden tooth waiting beneath the gum. Genetics plays an important role here. Some people naturally develop fewer third molars. Others develop none at all. And they can eat perfectly well without them. This raises a very tempting question. Are humans slowly losing their wisdom teeth? Maybe you've heard that claim before. It sounds logical. We don't really need them anymore. They often don't fit. And some people are already born without them. So are wisdom teeth disappearing? The answer isn't quite that simple. Evolution doesn't remove a body part just because it becomes inconvenient. Your body doesn't know that dentists exist. And evolution isn't planning a cleaner version of the human mouth. What matters is what happens across many generations. People inherit different biological traits. Some develop 4 third molars. Some develop fewer. Some develop none. How common those traits become can change over generations. But that doesn't mean wisdom teeth are guaranteed to disappear, especially because today, troublesome wisdom teeth can often be treated. So, humans may continue growing them for a very long time. Now comes the question almost everyone eventually asks. If I have wisdom teeth, should I remove them? Not automatically. A healthy wisdom tooth can simply remain in your mouth. If it grows into a good position, it may work normally. If you can clean it properly, it may never bother you. Some people keep all four for life. The situation is different when problems develop. A tooth may repeatedly irritate the surrounding gum. Food may constantly become trapped around it. Decay may develop in a difficult-to-clean area. Or its position may threaten the neighboring tooth. That's when a dentist may recommend treatment or removal. So wisdom teeth aren't automatically bad. They are just unpredictable. One person gets 4 quiet passengers. Another gets 4 troublemakers. And someone else gets none. There is one final mystery. Why do we call them wisdom teeth? Unfortunately, they don't contain any wisdom. Removing one won't make you less intelligent. And growing 4 won't make you a genius. The name simply reflects their late arrival. They usually emerge when we are approaching adulthood, an age traditionally associated with greater maturity. So the tooth received a surprisingly flattering name, even though many people first meet it while holding an ice pack against their cheek. But behind that annoying experience is a much older story. Your wisdom tooth isn't a random extra tooth. It is your 3rd molar, a tooth connected to the chewing system, inherited from our ancestors. Those ancestors lived with tougher foods and different chewing demands. Humans eventually learned to cook, cut, grind, and soften food. Our diets changed. Our faces changed over evolutionary time. And our jaws developed within a very different environment today. Yet many of us still grow that final pair of molars. On an X-ray. Carrying an ancient blueprint. Just may not have saved enough room for it.